Hello, everybody. This is How's Name with episode 7 of Ramblings. One more than six, one less than eight. As you can see, we're in a little bit of a different area, space, living quarters. I moved to San Antonio. There will be a separate video in probably less than a month, giving you a tour of everything, explaining like what's happening. Just know, new job, new place, new city. So that's the gist of it. I'll have a room tour in probably like a month just because I want to get all my furniture in. It's pretty barren right now. Um, with that said, this is gonna be episode 7 of Ramblings. I'm not rambling about my apartment. I'm rambling about something much more important to me, which is honesty. So just pure honesty. Now there's levels to it. Okay, so let's go back a few months. Jordan Peterson, he talks about honesty, being honest all the time with both yourself and others. So just being purely honest. Um, now I've started doing that, and obviously, I'm not gonna just regurgitate things from Jordan Peterson. No, I'm gonna tell you my experiences, um, how I perceive the concept of it, and how I've been executing it, and the net benefits, and maybe the drawbacks, depending on who you are, um, of this whole thing, and how I've experienced it so far. So let's see. I started this probably like but I'm like, I am not going to lie. I'm not going to lie. I'm not going to deceive. No small lie. Any lies too big of a lie. I've started that probably like several months ago, maybe back in March, April. Yeah, April. I was like, I'm just gonna stop it. And it's interesting because like in the past, whenever I told a small lie, I would just forget about it the next day. But now, if I was to tell a small lie, like it doesn't matter what it's about in the slightest, if my brain perceives that if my brain perceives that I have deceived somebody, it will keep recurring in my head over and over and over and over. Like it's like guilt. It's like guilt. Like it's constantly reminding me like you said that, you said that, you said that. And it's interesting. So but I honestly prefer it. It's interesting. Like I keep saying it's interesting. It's a unique experience. Um so obviously there's levels to honesty. I'm gonna go through some examples of like when you should not tell the whole truth. And there's like levels to the truth. So like if I walk up to some random person that uh is obese or like large on the street and I just tell them they're obese, I'm telling the truth, but it was unwarranted. And I'm using the truth to hurt someone. Or like if I just make that comment to any friend of mine, like unwarranted, like I'm using the truth to hurt someone. You can phrase something in a way that's truthful and not hurtful. You do not have to use the truth as like using the truth as a weapon. Uh, like you should avoid that. You tell the truth, but pick your words in such a way that I mean, unless you want to hurt them, like if they deserve to, I mean, if you think in the moment they deserve to be heard with words and the truth, then go ahead. But I'm saying in general, um, it's important to say the truth, but also saying the truth in a way that's hurtful to somebody, uh, that should be like the 1%. So maybe I'm at like 5% right now just because that's my habit of like cooking people. But I don't know. I'm trying to reel it back. You know, say the truth. Um, but like I say with my close friends, I tell them the whole honest truth. Um, maybe I'll like phrase it in such a way that doesn't hurt them as much. But with strangers, you know, I'm gonna be honest. I'm gonna be honest 100% of the time with them. And I may be like less nitpicky with my words, so it may come out more or less like crude, just because they're strangers or like I don't consider them close friends. So I don't really care to mince my words, so to kind of keep them safe. So from whatever I'm thinking or the truth is. Yeah, there's a few things I gotta hit here. So let me think. All right. So here's like you're like, why would I tell the truth? Why like because whenever you tell the truth, right? The alternative is lying, right? Obviously, the alternative to the truth is lying. And why do people lie? People lie for many reasons. One, and here's a big one, to kind of save the feelings of other people. So, like, if you tell someone the truth, you'll think you'll hurt them. And I'm gonna show rebuttal for all these things, and then an exception. So, like, that's one reason. It's like, if I tell this person, like, I don't like them, or if I tell this person, I'm gonna see like you know, what is it? I'm seeing someone else, or I don't like their food, yada yada yada. It'll hurt them. Or if I tell this person like, "Hey, do I look fat in this?" and they say yeah, and you say yes, it's like that's gonna hurt them. So maybe I shouldn't say that. Maybe I should say no, even though it doesn't make them look fat. So it's like people say people will lie just so they can uh save face or like save someone else's feelings, like keep them intact, keep them happy. And then another reason to lie is to gain something. So it's like, hey, you drew those reports? Yeah, I did 40 of them. You only have 30 reports that you did like over the past month. It's like to gain something in any aspect. It's like I don't have to give examples as to like why people lie to gain something. It's the same way that you can't like a very truthful person cannot work in a used car dealership because they would be telling not lies, but maybe they would be telling half truths consistently every day, day in and day out. So it's like they do that, they kind of deceive people in order to gain something. So obviously income for their job. So like there's many reasons to lie. But I think those are the big two to save. You think you're saving others, and then to gain something. It's like I don't want to hurt this person, so I'm not going to tell them the truth. And then I want to gain something, so I'm going to lie. So those are like the big ones. I think I don't. I'm sure there's other reasons why people lie, but those are like the big ones. I guess the other one is like you don't want to face the consequences of your actions, so you did something wrong. It's like, did you fucking steal that? Yes. Or like, did you do this? Yes. And then you get X consequences. Like there's various reasons to lie, but I'm here to say don't do it. So we're gonna go through the first one. Um, why you shouldn't lie to save the feelings of others. Now, there's one exception to this, which I'll get into after I talk about it. In this video, we're already at 7 minutes. It's just going to be long. But yeah, this is a real example that I'm going to use pseudonyms for on the two people. Let's go. We'll go with Joe and Mary. There we go. Okay. Joe is your Joe is an average Joe, literally an average guy, very average, a little big, a little tall, taller than average, a little bigger than average in terms of width, you could say. Um, he asks out this girl, Mary. At one point, or Mary is very pretty. At one point, previous years, it's like everyone was out to date Mary. It's like she was like the person that people went to they're like, oh my god, you talking with Mary? Oh my goodness. Everyone's crazy about Mary. Now fast forward a few years, it's like people still like Mary. Mary's still great. But obviously people aren't like fawning over her, but she's still amazing. Like pretty and everything. So Joe asked Mary out to prom. Um, and it was like maybe a month and a half out to prom. It was pretty. I'm not gonna say it was early to ask somebody, but people were definitely waiting a little later to ask. I'm not sure. Maybe I don't know if the timeline's correct. I just know it's around that. That's what occurred in my head when I thought of like, oh, you're asking Mary out now. Okay. Um, Mary says yes. Mary says yes to Joe. I will go to prom with you. Um, and then prom starts approaching, and then there's rumors that Mary actually wanted to go with Kevin. It's like, yeah, I wanted to go with a guy named Kevin, and then so Joe approaches Mary saying, "Hey, I heard these rumors, or like I heard that you actually want to go with someone else. That's perfectly fine. Just let me know because like there's the ticket reservations, and then there's the like in all the shit you do when you're a couple at prom. There's all the logistical stuff you got to do before prom actually occurs. So Joe is being very accommodating. He's like, "Hey, I know you, or you might actually want to go with somebody else. Just let me know." Like Joe's a very nice guy, maybe too nice at this point. And Mary was like, "No, no, 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 no. I still want to go with you. Yeah, we're gonna go together." So Mary was like, uh, saying no, 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 like reassuring Joe she still want to go with prom with him. And this occurred 3, 4 times maybe before prom. Like the rumors kept spreading, and Joe kept going back to Mary saying, "Are you sure? Are you sure?" And then Mary was like, "Yeah, yeah, I'm sure. We're gonna go together." It's like, "I'd love to go with you. Yada yada yada. I really want to go with you." Um, and then it was like I think the week before prom, was it Mary finally went to Joe and was like, "Yeah, I'm actually gonna go with Kevin. Like I'm actually gonna go with Kevin because at this point she couldn't hold it off anymore. She did actually want to go with Kevin the whole time, and Kevin was gonna ask her out, but Joe had beat her to it. And I think Mary and Kevin were talking for a while, or before that even. So but Mary didn't want to say no to Joe or turn Joe down after the fact because Joe had already asked her out. So Mary wanted to save the feelings of Joe in this instance, um, by like reassuring, like, "Hey, like you asking me out wasn't in vain, yada yada yada." She didn't want to have to go and put Joe down. Essentially, she wanted to save Joe's feelings. And in this instance, it actually caused a lot more grief for Joe instead of Mary just saying at the very beginning, like whenever Joe asked her out, no, just declining him. Or the alternative, whenever Joe first approached Mary saying, "I heard you want to go with somebody else," Mary could have been Mary could have been honest then again and said, "Yes, that's true. I did want to go with Kevin. Sorry about all this." And that would have been perfectly fine compared to the alternative of waiting until, the week before, days before prom and saying, "Sorry, Joe, I am going to go with Kevin." So in this instance, it's like you try to save face, but really, instead of saving, what is it, the other person's feelings, you're more or less being cowardly. It's cowardly to do this, and this can be applied to anything. So like, um, if you think you're like an amazingly good person, but you don't understand like conflict arises at any point, so you try to avoid any and all conflict, that's cowardly. So to think like, if you think you're a saint and you think you're a great person, so you would do no harm, or you would never hurt anybody. The thing is, life in and of itself is conflict. If you interact with anybody, conflict is bound to arise. So at any point, you could be the reason for someone's anguish. If you're just interacting with anybody. Um, so like, again, I don't know, Brittany. She thinks she's some amazing person. Like, "I'm so nice," and she calls herself so nice. I think there's some amazing person. Um, and then someone asked them out, or someone like someone asked them out and they never properly turned them down. That's a good way to say it. Yeah, they never properly say no. Like Brittany never says like, "No, I don't want to go out." She like keeps putting off, or like maybe like subtle hints. But the person that's asking her out, let's say, who is it? Bob is extremely oblivious. He just needs a straight no. Bob does not understand hints. He just needs a straight no. "I don't want to go out," and then he'll be on his way. He'll be on his way. You just tell Bob you don't want to go out with him, he'll be on his way. But Brittany's like, but Brittany can't see herself saying no because she knows that would cause hurt. But so she's being cowardly in this instance. She's just being a coward. She's like, I can't hurt somebody. I don't want to hurt any. I don't want to be mean. I'd be so mean if I said no to this person. I'll just keep giving little hints that I'm not interested. I'm not interested. Instead of just going up to the person, "Hey, Bob, I don't. I'm not interested back with you. Like I don't feel any interest towards you. No." And then Bob would be on his way. Obviously, Bob would be hurt. Because rejection is like one of the worst things. For a guy, or just in general, just human relationships. But that'd be better than being strung along, strung along, strung along, strung along, or feeling like you're being strung along. But that's another instance of like not, because in the moment when Bob asks out Brittany knows the answer. Her truthful answer to Bob asking her out would just be no. That would be the answer. She knows that's the answer. But instead she says, "Oh, I'm busy this Monday. Sorry, can we push it back to, if we try Wednesday?" And then when Wednesday comes around, "Oh, sorry, something came up Wednesday. We can go for Saturday." And then when Saturday comes around, "Oh my God, I'm sorry, this came up." Like pushing it back, like, like a date with Bob. So that is another instance. So yeah, be when people say like, I don't tell them the truth to, was it, save them from the whatever pain, suffering. Like it's just that person being cowardly. There's nothing else to it. Like that person just being cowardly. Just tell the truth. Be honest with others and then yourself. Or yeah, I guess they're equally important. So just be honest in general. So that's like with the feelings. That's with feelings. The second one is lying to gain something. So this is like fucking philosophical, and I can't word this as better as Jordan Peterson. But really, if with really, it's like with me, if I was to lie to gain something, when I look back on my life in like 10 years from now, 30 years from now, or just in general, like previous versions of myself, I would look at those previous versions of myself as corrupted. So like if current me were to lie and like somehow from a lie gain $1,000, and with $1,000 I can do like X with it. Whenever I think of whatever I did with that money X later on down the line, instead of me knowing that I like got it truthfully and honestly, like just from hard work or whatever, I'll know that I got it in some corrupted way. Um, so it'll make me want to get rid of X. Like that's just an honest person's take on previous actions. So like lying to gain something really is just a very extremely short term. Like it's extremely narrow. Was it not narrow? Short sighted. There's the word. Like it's extremely short sighted because when you look back on your life, whether it's 10 years, 20 years, 30 years from now, you'll know that the things you acquired weren't through your actual means. It was through means of nefarious ways or just deceive it, deceivious deception. There we go. I don't know. It's fucking like nine. Through ways of deception. Um. So yeah, there's no real point to what is it? Selling your current self for a small term profit or even long term profit when at the end goal, at the end game, when you look back on everything, you'll know that it was all corrupted to some degree. So it wasn't actually something that you acquired through your own means. And then the third reason, like why people lie, it's because they don't want to be in trouble. They don't want to get the consequences of their actions. If you live life truthfully and in such a way that's dignified, any and all consequences that occur to you, that happen to you in your life, um, are deserving of whatever you've done, both good and bad. So like if you make an honest mistake at work, you own up to it and you say it was an honest mistake. Now, if you get fired from that honest mistake, okay, well that was the best course of action. Then knowing you would lie and not knowing the consequences if you had actually told them the truth. So just knowing like I'm working to this day because of I deceived them on X day like 30 days ago or like 2 months ago. Like I might have been fired 2 months ago, not knowing the actual consequences that would have occurred if you told them the truth. However long that event occurred. Um, so just live like in a dignified, honest way. Just keep doing things that future you would be proud of and previous versions of yourself would be proud of. And also like, honor thy mother and father. Would Sixth Amendment, Sixth Commandment? I don't know. Just live a life that you'd be proud of day in and day out. That you can look back. Like yesterday, I did fucking like 10 different, like no, 10, not 10 different, 5, 6 different things. Very productive. I'm proud of yesterday. Day before that, proud of the day before that. Like all week I've been very productive, done my stuff, done more things than I thought I would be able to do. Been very consistent. um like I am proud of this entire past week and the week before that. Live every single day like that, where you can say like I did this and this, tomorrow I'm going to do this and that, and I'll be proud of what I did today. I'll be happy with myself. I'll be content with the progress I've made of bettering myself or bettering my situation or bettering my family. um so you don't have to worry about consequences of your actions if you just live in an honest way. And then when consequences of actions do occur, whether good or bad, just know that you're entirely deserving of them. And that's not to say like bad luck doesn't occur, like you get fucking hit by a bolt of lightning randomly, or someone hits your car. It's like, shit happens. But like those are like external to this, I guess you could say, bubble that I'm current talking about. So yeah, those are like the three reasons people really lie. Now here's an exception, because obviously if you're just a floodgate for truths with no filter at all, because remember what I said about like mincing your words so it's not hurtful, because you can just tell the honest truth, like brute truth, point blank, and hurt anybody. like anyone, just out of nowhere. Like, but you don't do that. You don't do that. You don't use your truth as a weapon. Um, then you're just a dick. So an exception to this would be like if a truth you told would be a direct would directly, what is it, cause your safety to be in danger. So like I'm in San Antonio. If the fucking for some reason the cartel grab a hold of me and they're like, give us the names of this, and this at your job, or we're gonna blow your head off. And I really think they're gonna blow my head off, or I don't know. For some reason, I think I would survive if I told them the name. Um, or if I didn't tell them the name. Whatever the inverse of this would be. If for some reason I think a lie will keep me alive, okay, then okay, fair enough. No, that's like an extreme example. A much more common example would be a little boy thinking Christmas exists, or a little girl thinking Christmas exists, like Santa. Christmas, of course, Christmas exists. Santa exists, and like the kid's like 5 or 6, and then the kid comes up to you, and the kid wants confirmation that Santa's real. You're not gonna say no. You're not gonna just crush this kid's dreams right there on the spot in the name of truth. You're gonna mince your words and maybe tell a half lie. You're gonna, I would say something like, I wouldn't tell the whole truth here. I would say like, because obviously the genuine truth would be no, Santa's not real. Maybe the genuine truth, but I would mince my words and say something along the lines of, he's as real as you think he is. So if you think he's completely real, then of course he's real. I would say something along those lines because there's no point. What would I gain from telling the whole honest truth to a child that doesn't even understand, um, like the value of a truth versus a lie? Like all children, they just mimic, honesty is the best policy. Tell the truth, because their parents tell them to tell the truth. It's like they don't understand why the value of truth is what it is. Um, so like, there's no real point in crushing a kid's dream or crushing this kid's like little fantasy, just because like, oh, I'm holier than thou. I'm the most truthful person ever. No, don't do that. Like mince your words for the situation. Okay, mince your words for the situation. Um, let's see. Let's see. So I guess net benefits is like when you tell the truth all the time. Non-truths that you say sort of replay in the back of your head throughout, dating back maybe months. And that's just your brain reminding you of like when you lied last. So you can, what is it? Not do it again. Other examples of lying would be, so if you say something sarcastic, but that person didn't think you were being sarcastic, you should probably clarify, because like you just lied to that person because they took it as a full truth from you. So if you thought you were being blatantly sarcastic about something, like, yeah, you look amazing in that dress, when really they look terrible in that dress, and you thought you were oozing with sarcasm, but they take you genuinely serious, you should clarify and be like, you actually don't look that great in that dress. You should probably try something else. Try this one over here. Like anything that can be considered a lie on your part that you feel like, wait, that person thought it was serious. Let me clarify with them. There's that. Obviously, I'm not saying like you can't joke with friends. Yes, you can joke with friends. But you shouldn't like it has to be an obvious joke. Like I'm not sure. And you shouldn't like fucking I've been in this Discord and they keep telling this one dude, they keep telling this guy Ian that he killed his parents. They've been saying this shit for months. And to me it's gotten boring. I'm like, this is stupid. But yeah, it's just dumb. Like they just keep saying he killed his parents. So I'm starting to think like that would go in that category of like, this is just a stupid lie. Even though it's blatantly untrue, but I don't know, it's just becoming I don't know, it's getting out of hand. But yeah, blatant jokes. If someone knows for a fact you're joking, there's no shred of doubt in their head that you're joking, it's fine. It's fine. Only things that you think would actually deceive somebody or like did deceive someone should be corrected. Like tell the whole truth all the time. Uh Obviously mince your words if necessary. Just don't tell half truths, because you can tell them a half truth um and not be truthful with them still. Because like I said, half truth is just a half lie. So yeah, I've been doing this for like a few months now. Um, I can think back to one specific half truth I told at my old job back in like beginning of May, I think, or maybe even before May, like April. I can think back all the way to like half truth I told in a report I made. And yeah, and I can't correct it now because I don't work there anymore, and the business isn't even a thing. So I'm like, that's just learning. Like I just have to learn from that. Like in the same situation now, like in my current job, if I was given the opportunity to do a half truth to get out of the consequences that I should be receiving or may receive, then I hope to not make that same decision of creating a half truth. Um, so yeah, it's just learning. It's just things to learn from. Um, Obviously when you tell the truth all the time, it's you never have to remember what you said because you just told them the truth. Like it's pretty convenient. Like that's always been a thing. I think everyone always says that when you tell the truth, you don't have to remember what you said. So yeah, that's nice. Also, whenever you always tell the truth, your words seem to carry more weight because people will know that you're telling them the truth. When you always tell the truth, people expect that from you. So your words carry more weight. So when I genuinely give a compliment to somebody, it's like they know it's genuine. It's not like a, oh yeah, you look great. No, I probably wouldn't say anything. If I feel like my truth would hurt that person, I'm not gonna probably like, if they didn't directly ask me for how they look, then I'm not gonna say anything. But if I genuinely tell someone like, yeah, those shoes really fit you or whatever, it's like they know that's a genuine compliment because I don't say things just to say things for the sake of it, like in some social aspect. Um, like tell like it's like how they tell like fat people they look amazing. It's like or like how their best friends will tell an ugly friend like or like a less than attractive friend or a friend that dresses less than great or styles their hair less than great. I'm not sure. Less than attractive friend like, oh yeah, you're killing it, sister. Yada yada yada. You know, they're just like it's on airs. It's like it's just lying. Um, and maybe that's an entirely different topic for another time. It's just like societal expectations of lying, but societal expectations in that one social aspect. But it's like no. Whenever I give a genuine compliment, they know it's the truth, and I think it holds more weight. And it's you know. But also, whenever I tell someone something negative, they understand that's coming from a place of truthfulness and not just like I'm going to spite you. Um, So, and I guess that takes some maturity to be able to make sure you're not putting your emotions into the truth, like your truth for it, unless you're talking about your feelings. And I guess that's fine. Yeah, that's completely fine. Um, so yeah, I mean, because we never like before this, I would just occasionally lie just to lie. It's like everyone else, everyone just occasionally lies when it benefits them in some small aspect. Obviously, people don't want to make huge lies because then they spiral out of control. But no, I just don't lie at all. I just don't lie at all. Those two exceptions I told you about with like the child for Santa and the cartel or whatever, like kidnapping. It's like those are like the biggest ones that I can think of. And when you make an exception, if you were to start this process and you were to create an exception in your head of like in this aspect, or when it comes to this, I can lie. You have to make it as narrow and as specific as possible because if not, then your brain will start to try to use that excuse as much as possible to lie more, and in order to gain favor, um, save others' feelings, aka be cowardly, and then get out of consequences of your actions. So we're about to go on for 30 minutes, so I think I'm gonna end it. This was a genuine ramblings because I haven't done a 30-minute ramblings since like the very first one when I hit like 40 different topics. So yeah, I I guess it's been 9 months since I uploaded, dude. I haven't made a ramblings in 9 months, so very unprecise, but at the same time, it was all about the same topic, and I hit like various points. So I'm kind of happy with it. Maybe I should have done like a small like slideshow for this since it was half an hour, but whatever. Yeah, tell me how it goes. Try it. Tell the truth as much as possible. You might not be perfect the first month. Maybe whenever someone asks you a specific question, you just autopilot say a lie. It's like when your girlfriend says like, "How does this look on me?" Maybe you just autopilot say looks great. You don't even look over. You just autopilot say it looks great. Okay, that's something to work on. It's like you're not gonna be perfect first month, second month, third month, but like over time, it's like ironing something. It's like when you go over it the first time, there's still wrinkles. Second time, still wrinkles, but less. Third time, wrinkles. Fourth, it's like think of that with months, or like yeah, with months. It's like you can iron everything out, but it's going to take time and actual effort of going over it again and again and again, making sure that like all that you're putting out there, all that's leaving your mouth, all that's happening in your head whenever you internalize thoughts or whenever you think about someone or something, um, or talk about someone and something, it's the truth. It's your truth and then the truth. Obviously, when it comes to like any given situation, it's uh her truth, his truth, and the truth. You want to make sure your truth is lined up with the actual truth as much as possible at all times, even though your truth cannot be objectively as true as the actual truth because, your perspective is different from reality. So your truth wouldn't be as nearly aligned to the objective as anyone else's. I take that back. You can't be perfectly aligned with the objective truth because you have your own bias and perspectives on anything. So yeah, but like I said, try it out. Let me know how it goes. Let me know if this made any sense at all. Just tell the truth. It's pretty easy. Just try it out. Don't be a coward. Okay. Don't corrupt yourself for the future. And uh yeah, cowardly is the feelings. Future is whenever you gain favor. And oh yeah, and don't soil your past by what is it? Avoiding consequences of your actions. So live honestly. Go crazy. And with that said, 32 minutes in, hope y'all had fun. Like I said, room tour will be coming out probably like the next month. I just want to get furniture in. There'll be a couch right here. Yeah, right there. There'll be a couch or something along those lines. Yeah. So with that said, you two, we'll see you later.